right, so in yesterday's news, we covered the exploit that took place on the dForce DeFi protocol. How about $25 million worth of Ethereum-based assets were stolen by the attacker. Well, it seems that the attacker has had a change of heart, and the stolen funds appear to have been mostly returned as of the time of recording. We're going to take a closer look at what actually happened yesterday, because as we discussed yesterday, the attacker apparently didn't cover his tracks very well, and authorities were hot on his trail within just a few hours of the heist. So, to quickly summarize, on Saturday night, an attacker exploited a vulnerability in the LendF.me protocol. LendF.me, for those who don't know, is popular over in Asia. It is an open source lending platform running on the dForce network. Like most DeFi protocols that we can find running on Ethereum today, LendF.me functions by matching a supply of lenders and a supply of borrowers for Ethereum-based tokens, right? In the case of LendF.me, it allowed for users to deposit ERC20 stablecoins to earn interest, or users could borrow supported digital assets using their deposited funds, their deposited crypto of choice as collateral. Pretty standard stuff in the world of DeFi, stuff that we see all the time. Now, the attack drained the entire dForce network for about $10 million worth of Ethereum and another $15 million in various stable coins in ETH-wrapped Bitcoins, so warped Bitcoins, wrapped Bitcoins. All right, so this is an update from Medium. In a recent Medium post, the security researchers over at PeckShield detailed how the attacker exploited a bug in the lending function that approved the release of funds in collateral exchange for IMBTC. Now, IMBTC is a token on that platform which pegs Bitcoin and Ethereum. If anyone wants a more technical dive into the code that was actually exploited in this attack, this Medium article is actually a good read. And what's also been revealed is, in this analysis, is how the LendF.me protocol actually ripped off some of its code from another DeFi protocol, which is Compound. Robert Leshner took the opportunity to absolutely flame dForce here by accusing it of stealing Compound's code. And it's no surprise, therefore, that the developers did not have the capacity to properly audit or maintain their own security practices because they didn't write the code in the first place. But of course, as we mentioned, in a pretty shocking turnaround, the attacker appears to have returned the majority of the stolen funds. This includes the lion's share of his haul, the $10 million in Ethereum, but a little was missing because some of the stable coins and other assets had been exchanged for other cryptocurrencies along the way before that attacker had that change of heart and returning what he could when he did. Now, as to what drew the attacker to go from stealing, then converting the funds into Ethereum using other DEXs in an attempt to get away, just to end up returning it days later, well, as we mentioned yesterday, he apparently didn't do a very good job at covering his tracks, right? As I said, he seemed to be a good coder, not a good security expert. When moving the stolen Ethereum and other crypto goodies to those decentralized exchanges for their big wash, the attacker only used a simple VPN or proxy server, which, while more experienced attackers would have been doing these transactions through a decentralized network like Tor. And this blunder ended up leaking valuable metadata, including the attacker's IP address, leaving a trail that could lead to a subpoena of his VPN service provider. And in the context of a Chinese attacker using a Chinese VPN provider, it's likely that the authorities could have tracked this attacker down in no time if they had not already. Now, Sergey Kuhns, he's the CEO of the 1inch decentralized exchange, was one of the DEXs the attacker used to launder his stolen funds, and he openly discussed the issue and his role in taking down the user, as it was the metadata collected by the 1inch DEX that helped everyone resolve the situation in the first place. And a lot of people are pointing out to Kuhns and others cooperation in this investigation is highlighting a pretty good example of industry collaboration and support across open decentralized networks, how we can actually rein in attacker. Now, on the flip side, even with the seemingly happy ending to this tale and the $25 million in funds restored, DeFi's reputation has, of course, taken yet another major hit this week. So, of course, as we've said many, many times, we have to be careful about which decentralized finance protocols we trust and utilize. There is a difference between supporting a network and a difference between investing all of your time. But now is your time to sound off. What do you guys think about this latest DeFi hack and its resolution overall as it pertains to the larger DeFi movement? Is this just another bump along the road to decentralization, or is this a scathing example of how untested smart contracts can lead to millions of dollars in losses for the unwary? Let us know in the comment section down below. We'll do our best to respond to you within the next 24 to 48 hours.